Welcome back, note takers. Here we are again for yet another episode, and this week we are getting into the recent Bravo premieres we had with season. What are we now? 15?
17.
17. I don't even know my numbers. Season 17 of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, and season 1 of the newest Housewives franchise, the newbies, The Real Housewives of Rhode Island. Which, yes, random locale, but I'm kind of loving it. I'm into it. I'm into
Right,
these girls.
right, and I like how committed they are to replicating New Jersey and reheating their natural, even covering the whole damn state.
Well, I mean, yeah, it was definitely giving lots of Jersey vibes. But we'll get to the Rhode Island girls. We're actually going to start with the Real Housewives of Atlanta because they've
Yes,
been here longer.
our
So we're going to
veteran,
give them some vet priority.
absolutely. Yes, so I feel like what's funny is there's been a lot of hype and build up to the new season of RHOA coming back and everything like that. But
From
I
who?
kind of like in the last few days, I forgot like how soon it was upon us. I was like, oh shit, they're coming back this weekend.
Yeah, no, that was me with both Rhode Island and Atlanta. I knew that they were both coming because we had planned these episodes, but
Yeah.
I checked my calendar. I was like, oh, I actually missed the Rhode Island premiere live and had to watch it
Hmm.
on my DVR. But I caught the Sunday episodes, and I
Yeah.
was surprised they went with a double whammy for Rhode Island. I don't know what kind of programming block that they had, but Bravo likes to have some new housewives every week, no matter
Well,
what. So
well, and I told you I was a little bit pissed off about that. I was like, 2 episodes of Rhode Island and Miami ain't filming. What's going on here?
well, they have to get the show out now. They have to get the show out.
I
But
suppose.
justice for Miami. It's not. I don't want Miami gone either.
Yeah.
You're blaming me. I don't make casting decisions.
I'm not blaming you. I know exactly who to blame. I'm going straight for Andrew Jerome Cohen.
Jarrell.
That's
Okay,
what Candace
Candace.
calls him.
I'm aware. I'm aware.
But yeah, so the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So obviously, I mean, we actually not that long ago for Black History Month, or no, actually, it was right after Black History Month. We did an episode just like kind of discussing the legacy of the Real House of Atlanta and the history of the show and everything. So if you want to go listen to that, feel free.
Right? It was a good
But
one covering the years. How we
yeah,
got to 17.
right, how we kind of got here. And, I was kind of leading up to this. I was curious as how it was going. I was a little bit nervous for the show because I feel like, especially in recent years, every year with Atlanta, I feel like people get really hyped up for it. And then it seems like people get disappointed by it. And I think it's hard because
Guilty.
I think Atlanta, it's hard for those girls because when you look at, like, Atlanta at its best, at its peak, that was, like, Housewives at its best and at its peak. So, they're constantly fighting against a really high bar, and it's almost unfair because I feel like Atlanta's worst is some other franchise's best, you know?
I know it's definitely hard shoes to fill, and I think production doesn't really know. I think they're struggling to find a new leader in the cast,
Mhm.
and they're struggling to find new women who
Yeah,
could stick consistently with the cast. We're seeing some sticking now with Drew, but
yeah.
really it went for a while from Atlanta from such strong rookie debuts and the
Mhm,
foundation of the cast with Phaedra and Portia
mhm.
and Kenya. And then we got some duds. So
Yeah,
nobody who's really had staying power till now. So,
right. When I
they
think
kind of have
that
to keep building up these new girls and
yeah,
I've had a lot of franchises get to this point, but Atlanta specifically seems to have a lot of turnover with the core
yeah.
spots.
When I think they just, like, in the last few years, it feels like every time it feels like they've been unlucky. It feels like every time they're kinda starting to get back and build up and things are going well, some bullshit happened, like last season with, our trigger happy girl and our poster board happy girl, you know?
Yeah.
Like, those 2 girls kinda fucked up the bag for the season.
Trigger happy. Right? And I don't know if Britt was ever a good, fit for the show. It seems like she didn't know what she was getting herself
Yeah.
into. But even last season already, like, did they need to do a soft reboot? I don't know. I'm of the camp that Atlanta had enough, like, decent gems in the rough from their new girl and cycles of friends that
Yeah.
they could have done more on the development side rather than keep trying to find somebody new. Not
Yeah.
that I don't want K Michelle. I appreciate some K Michelle. And I
Yeah.
like Angela. You can keep Kelly and the waffles, but I would still visit the restaurant.
Are you sure? I mean, Drew visited and she couldn't even get served.
Well, it was closed. That location was closed. Yeah, I mean, I hope a location is open. I mean,
Well
we tried to go to bar one and
I'll tell you, I mean,
we
we'll
weren't
we'll
able to.
we'll get into it because I mean, Kelly had some thoughts on our new girl, Pinky Cole, and I was kinda like, "Kelly, I don't know if I'd come for her. She actually has successful restaurants."
I mean, for now. now. I mean, bankruptcy was filed. It was all over the press, Noah.
Oh, well, you know what? You know I'm here to spread vegan propaganda.
That's true. You are a slutty vegan.
I am a slutty vegan, absolutely. And I liked that little net, like that little funeral hat she had on. I don't care what anybody says.
Pinky was something. She was definitely comfortable. Like, you could tell with some people, like, it takes them a while to, like, kinda get into it or get adjusted with the group. And I
Mhm.
see how she got the spot because she kinda fit right in.
Yeah.
You didn't hear a lot from her in this first episode, but she definitely, like,
Yeah.
felt comfortable, like, at the table. She didn't look out of place. She was,
Right.
giving her opinion when she
I
needed. I think she actually stopped the fight and kinda settled down some arguing, which,
Yeah.
that's Cynthia's job.
Right. Well, and production might not like that. But, let's just get right into the girls in the cast this season, honestly. Let's just talk about it. Yeah, obviously with Pinky, one of our new girls, um, she was kinda giving me, like she was kind of giving me, like, a little bit of Kim Fields flashbacks as far as, like, compare
Really?
I think just compared to these other girls, I feel like she's a little more, like, regular, and I don't mean that as an insult at all. I mean, just, like, a little bit more, like, chill, down to earth.
You from, like, the glam perspective?
Yeah, yeah, like, she wasn't coming in a damn
That's
costume,
true.
which is kind of, like, the standard these days, which I don't know if that's, like, necessarily just her in general or just being attributed to this being her 1st season. Um, but yeah, no,
I mean,
she
she
kinda
should have coins.
yeah.
The
Yeah,
that
no,
restaurant done expanded fast, but we see the headline, but we don't know the true story, so I haven't been able to access the books, so I don't know what's going on with her finances or, the company, but I have yet to visit a location, but I would love to. We were supposed to go to the Brooklyn one when you came over to New York, but
oh,
our
yeah.
schedule was tight.
Right, we had a lot of ground to cover in a very short amount of time, and, we were serving Mary Kate and Ashley a New York minute.
Oh, it was a New York minute. But yeah, no, I appreciated some Pinky, I like what she had to bring,
Yeah,
but it wasn't a lot in her first episode, honestly, we don't have much to say. I
yeah,
was excited seeing her added to the cast because I always love getting an entrepreneur,
mhm,
somebody, like, self-made who has something to themselves to speak
right,
about and bring, and especially, like, in Atlanta, such a prolific Black woman entrepreneur who has
yeah,
essentially a household brand, I think was a great get for them, especially in lieu of, like, candy, and I
yeah.
don't know, I guess, I mean, Atlanta's kinda known for its food, even though their food gets very memed for because they wanna throw a lemon pepper and Hennessy in everything, but I think we have a lot of restaurateurs come across the
Yeah,
Atlanta things between I mean, if we count Peter as a legitimate one, he can count. But
yeah,
Candy, Kelly, now we got Pinky.
yeah,
I
well,
like it.
I feel like Atlanta in general is the most, like and it kind of always has been the most, like, business-minded cast. Like, I feel like all the other shows usually have at least one girl that's on there that's kind of like that, the
Mhm.
Bethany or, just the whoever, the Vicky.
Yeah.
Like, you kind of always have, like, that one kinda business-minded girl get into the bag. But I feel like Atlanta is kind of an exception where it feels like most
Yeah.
of, if not the entire cast, is made up of girls like that.
And I think that's like the city of Atlanta stereotype, that everyone's an entrepreneur, everyone's getting to the bag.
Right.
And it's funny that Potomac tries to kinda mimic it, but they're more like little hobby pop-up
Yeah.
businesses that don't really sustain past a few seasons versus the
Right.
Atlanta people had some institutions.
Right.
Except
Yeah.
Cynthia was cycling through some things. It was always Bailey this, Bailey that.
A Bailey agency.
I mean,
So, I
Kenya did
think
have her iconic scene there, so
yeah, that thing, right? The Bailey agency has given us, a little something,
right?
something over the years, but
But speaking of Cynthia,
yeah, she got to open the episode.
right? I was like, "Okay, who set the screen? Who set the TV?"
I think that's my thing with Cynthia is I love that Bravo's always gonna give her a little something, like, whether it's this, like, kinda getting to be the opener for, like, this season, even though she's a friend of, still getting to be the opener, that's cool, or her little, like, pop-ups on other shows like Beverly Hills and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Like, Bravo is always gonna have something for Cynthia.
Right? And I appreciate her insight in her podcast, like,
Mhm.
her and Cynthia I mean, not her and Cynthia. Her and Crystal Minkoff probably sound like the 2 most boring housewives and duo
Right.
together, but something about them together, like, the
Mhm.
neutralness of it all, gives
Yeah.
you a good, I think, behind the scenes read into, like, how housewives work, how other
Yeah.
housewives interact with one another. Because 'cause
Mhm.
they're not really 2 who are gonna go out of their way to kind of demean or drag other housewives, so
Right.
it's very impartial.
It'll be like
As
Collection.
impartial as one can get.
Yeah. Right, and Yeah, I don't know. I think one thing I worry about with Cynthia though is, and maybe she doesn't care, like maybe she doesn't want to be a full-time peach holder again, but I feel like she keeps doing all these gigs for Bravo and she keeps accepting the friend of role while still like, and like last season she was doing a lot of the heavy lifting in the early episodes of the season and everything. I feel like I'm like, Cynthia, if you keep just doing all their dirty work for them and accepting the friend of role, you're never getting the peach back. They're gonna keep you there.
Right? But maybe she doesn't want it, or like she likes
Right.
the flexibility because you definitely get to film less. You don't have to film those solo scenes. You can just pop up at the group scene. So maybe she appreciates that
Right. Well,
level
that's
of
like
flexibility. I don't know.
right, well, that's like Marisol on, Miami. From, like, what I've kind of heard over the years is that she could be full-time if she wanted to, but she likes the freedom of being a friend.
Just sipping her cockies in her confessional, not having
Right.
to
Kinda
share
kinda
anything.
kinda like being at all the events, but kinda picking and choosing, like, which events she wants to do the heavy lifting at and which ones she doesn't.
Well, I would appreciate that. I
Yeah.
mean, the money is less, but
Right.
you
But I
you,
mean,
you
if
don't
you
really
don't
spend
need
the whole season talking about a friend of's husband, you know?
right. Well, I think, yeah, it's like if you don't need the extra cash, then why not?
Right? And then let's get into our other newbie while we're here, Miss K. Michelle, which I
Right.
want to ask you, how familiar were you with our good sister K. Michelle?
So, unfortunately, I was not that familiar with her because I am not, like, really a love and hip hop person. I've seen, like,
Shocker.
clips and moments and everything like that. I mean, I'm probably more familiar with, like, Jocelyn and stuff like that. But I think everyone knows who Jocelyn is.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I've heard the name K Michelle many times over the years. I remember Funky Geneva and Jocelyn getting into it. I remember Funky Geneva being like, "Hey, Michelle's got 2 albums, a single, and this and that. Where's your music?" Uh, 'Cause I wrote Miss Jocelyn up. Um, so
Well, has he heard Doon Cha Cha? Has he heard Doon Cha Cha?
maybe, I don't know. I don't know. I should ask Funky Geneva. We're close friends. No, just but, but
Is
yeah,
that
no,
why
so
you were on
I've
Fox Soul?
yeah, I've definitely heard the name K Michelle plenty over the years, like, she's kinda been in, obviously, a lot of conversations. I did not realize, like, how extensive her music career was, and unfortunately, like, going into this, a lot of, like, what I had heard about her was not positive because I saw a lot of the fans, like, basically, once it was rumored that she was gonna be
Yeah.
on the show, basically being like, "Oh, she's gonna bring it into love and hip hop, and she's gonna declass the show." I'm like, "First of all, Portia declasses the show every time she opens her mouth." Uh, and she's been on the show for a long time.
Years.
Yeah.
You know, I definitely saw the same sentiment with K.
Right.
Michelle. I didn't, like, watch too much of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. I
Yeah.
was more of a Love and Hip Hop New York and Hollywood because they
Yeah.
had much shorter runs, so not a
Yeah.
lot to binge, but definitely was familiar with K. Michelle, her
Mhm.
contribution to R&B music.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know where I've been, but this country rebrand put in, I had no idea
Did
about
the
it. It's new
Beyonce
to me,
cosign?
but I support it. I support it. Oh, was she on Cowboy Carter, the
No, but
country one?
in the
Oh.
premiere, she said that Beyonce, like, reached out to her and, like
Good,
yeah,
good, she deserves. She
yeah,
got the flowers, she got the flowers.
yeah, she's got a Beyonce cosign, and
And I'm sure she got the little baby photo that people don't know how Beyonce got posted to her website,
what one thing it's like and one thing not a lot of people get a Beyonce cosign. I
right?
f
No,
I f
right?
I feel like especially since, Normani, she's been extra careful about giving those out.
Unfortunately. We'll see if she ever acknowledges
Yeah,
Mono from Cat's Eye, but that
but
is neither here nor there.
yeah, I
But I
mean
will say with K. Michelle, they're definitely trying to make her like a thing. You definitely she was
mhm,
positioned in the forefront. We opened the episode with her and Portia kind of talking, recapping, and she's giving
mhm,
her life, introducing herself. So I'm definitely like, okay, she's a preferential Ricky, or just because like we're likely more familiar with her.
right,
But, definitely I'm open to giving her a chance. I will
mm,
say it, the confessional was funny talking about this is like a Tyler Perry play. There's a woman in a white wig. It was funny, but the confessional style was a little Love and Hip Hop. I
right.
don't know how familiar you are with their confessionals, Noah, but Love and Hip Hop confessionals, they're very animated. You're usually standing, waving your arms around.
I
It's a
I
little over the top.
I have seen clips before, and I mean, I've seen, the burrito eating GIF. I've
Oh
seen,
yeah, Mimi.
like, I've seen some clips for that. Yeah, and I know it's kind of like Big Brother, where it feels like they're like really hyped up and saying some
Yeah.
like slightly producer fed lines and everything. Whereas, like, I feel like Housewives confessionals are typically a little bit more conversational and a little bit more
Mhm.
natural. But
Exactly.
that thing, yeah, I kind of could see that with her. But I definitely, but now that you've explained kind of like the love and hip hop thing with it, I can see why, like, you're going from, like, one reality show where it's kinda like it's a transitional period where you're
Yeah.
kinda figuring out how this one works.
Yeah, for sure. And actually, not to jump to Rhode Island too early, I noticed the same thing with Ashley from Rhode Island because she was on The Bachelor.
Yeah.
But I just noticed that her confessionals had like not weirdness, but I'm like, this feels different than some of the other girls. And I'm just like,
Right.
oh yeah, she was on TV before. This
Yeah.
translates well. But yeah, I think for both of them, it's just the reality television past preceding them because
Right.
those two shows have definitely opposite tones, but different tones from Housewives.
Right, exactly. So they're kind of coming in with experience, but not in this
Hmm.
particular field, and, like, it's kinda like I feel like having that reality TV experience, it can be a pro and a con. Um, but yeah, no, overall, I enjoyed K. Michelle in this episode, and I really didn't see any of this, and maybe I'm speaking too soon, but I didn't see any of what people were concerned about. Like, I'm like, she didn't really bring, like, I think, like, a certain type of tone. Like, I felt like she fit in fine.
Right?
I feel like
Also, like, Mona Scott Young produces her shows very differently. So
right. One I remember she did on this episode in her introduction, she did mention, like, people on other shows trying to bring her down. And so I was like, "Oh god, what did you versus the house came Michelle? Should I go back and watch that?"
I mean, it was seasons of stuff with her. I don't even remember off the top of my
Yeah.
head, but
I was like, was everyone against her or something on that show?
I think Jocelyn was the big villain, but people are definitely trying to tear you down.
Right.
But she definitely spoke about, like, Atlanta as a whole, which I thought was interesting, how it was, like, a
Mhm.
shady city, a lot of backstabbers, a lot of bad
Mhm.
energy and juju,
Mhm.
which we don't really see people talk about the city as a macro like that. It's more so,
Yeah.
like, as a group of women. So I like how they're kind of exploring that because it really is, like, Atlanta famous. Like, it's a thing.
Right. Well, I think yeah, and I feel like Atlanta is such like in some ways infamous city and everything. Like you kind of hear so many things, and I feel like it is I feel like it's such a big character in of itself, and there's a lot of potential there because you see, like, with The Real House of New York City, how much they lean into New York City, and you see with, like, Beverly Hills, how much they lean into the Beverly Hills, and even the
Mhm.
the new kid on the block, Rhode Island, they lead heavily into the location.
Well, girl, they have to go set the scene, otherwise they're like, "Why are we in Rhode Island?" It was
Right?
like season 1 of Potomac, they had to keep hammering the point home.
Right, why are we in Potomac? Um, but some of our returning girls, I mean, I feel like nobody on this cast I necessarily have, like, negative feeling towards. Like, I'm not always the biggest fan of Portia. I appreciate what she brings to the show, but I personally don't like her that much.
It's not that I dislike Portia, it's that I don't think she's a good central cast member. I
Mhm,
don't think she can carry the show. I've
mhm.
said this on our show
Yeah.
many times, so
Okay.
I'm sure you're sick of hearing of it, but, like, she just can't. I just think there's a level of, like, critical thinking and on the level, like, movement that you have to adhere to
Yeah,
that, Portia just doesn't have, and
yeah,
I don't think she needs to be put in that position. She's
yeah,
always has something interesting going on. She'll kind of deliver in group scenes, like, she'll play
yeah,
her role, and she's a great reality star, but
yeah.
to be that central person carrying the cast, you either need a very strong supporting cast
Mhm.
or, like, to be very strong yourself, and
Yeah,
I'm not sure how good this supporting cast is.
right,
We'll see, like, individually, there's pockets, but
yeah,
I don't know, the strength of the cast is not what I'm excited the most for Atlanta this season, but I think there's enough opportunity for the dynamics to be interesting, and I am very
yeah.
interested in, like, how Pinky and K. Michelle integrate.
Right, I think we're gonna see some growing pains with Pinky and K. Michelle as they kinda try to enter the group because this is not necessarily an easy group to infiltrate.
Yeah.
I think that with Portia and Shamia, I feel like in this episode they were really setting up because they both kind of seem to have this vibe of like clearly the fallout is still falling out, but like they had
Mhm.
this vibe of being very respectful, like this is between us. We're not bringing this to the
Yeah.
group. We're
Which
not
is
going to talk
real.
about it and everything. I feel like that's going to be kind of like the slow burn of the season where it's going to like lead up to it to something popping off, or maybe them making up. I don't know. Um,
Are making out,
or making out. Yeah, I mean, anything's possible with Portia. Um,
literally.
speaking of which, I found it hilarious that we like were introduced to this man in this episode. And the thing is, I haven't even bothered learning this man's name because
Right?
I'm like, what does it matter? We already know she's gonna have the stud here soon.
Right? And we see it in the preview at the end, because 'cause I'm like
Uh,
I realized that halfway through, I'm like, "Wait, but she's with when's that gonna happen?"
who is this man?
And we get in the preview, I'm like, "This poor man."
Right?
At least I was cackling though, because she was like, "I have bad luck bringing men to this group." I'm just like, "Yeah, you kinda do."
Yeah. Yeah,
'Cause I thought immediately to like, what? Where was that trip? Jamaica, Puerto Rico?
I think so. You got a freak house
So,
next to you.
that one man we never saw again. But
That's
this guy
it.
seemed to have a better experience. Even though
Right.
they were clowning him at the end, he making him a dress like he paid a mortgage in her ex-husband's house. And I'm
Like,
just like,
this
he
house.
didn't make a toast like he lived there. That was crazy.
That thing this he thinks he's the head of the house. Ooh,
I love that little compilation scene of everyone kind of whacking him. That was
right.
cute. That was a
I
great
mean
way to tailor and wrap up the episode.
I feel like these ladies, they're not gonna take it's like Portia's not taking this man seriously. Why should they?
Right? Portia's just walking around with him like, you know what? I need someone to bring. We have to film an event, so which pretty much the all cast event that ended the episode as
Yeah,
per Housewives editing rules. And
yeah.
Portia threw like a couples party, so everyone had to bring somebody, which was the point of contention as Shamia's husband Gerald did not show up, and Drew's friend Black was on via FaceTime, and Drew did admit that she still has a man living under the staircase. Which set me that language, but Ralph still being in the basement is insane. I thought that agreement had like an end date. I don't know what's going on in Fulton County Court or whatever county they live in, but someone to check on that.
Yeah, somebody, I don't know if I need to call him, like, a wellness check or, like, what I need to do, but I don't know. Do you think she goes down to the basement to sing that song to him sometimes when she's feeling in the
I hope
moment?
so. I hope so. I hope she padlocks the door and checks her fridge. Ralph seems like he'll take grapes, you
I'm
know?
taking grapes.
He's like he'll take grapes.
I'd be kinda pissed about that, especially if they were, like, my cotton candy grapes.
Ooh, I love cotton candy
I'd
grapes.
mm.
I like some strawberries too.
I was gonna ask you, what do you think of Kelly? Because I don't really like her. I mean, like, I don't dislike her, but, like, I'm not like I'm like, "Okay," whenever she's on screen.
Yeah, it was like last season of The Girls, Angela was my favorite, and
Mhm.
obviously Brit sucked. I
Yeah.
could take or leave Kelly,
Yeah.
is truthfully how I felt then.
Mhm.
I thought she was fun in the beginning, and then kinda, like, fizzled out, and then she kinda introduced her husband stuff, which was compelling and real, but now that's gone. So I'm just like, "Okay." She's definitely I have it written in my notes, she's definitely the castmate I fear I'll forget halfway through the season. Like, "Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, Kelly's here." And it just reminds me of, I'm on New York, Kristen, when she got that random second season, and everyone was like, "Why are you here?"
Why are you here?
I feel like he might give that. I hope not, like, I wanna see the waffle lady do the best, but it's giving Kristen's second season on RHONY.
That thing, all I really remember about Kelly's episode was like her daughter going to college,
Oh,
and
yeah.
which I mean that's lovely. But also then Portia calling her short stack, saying, "I'm gonna deal with short stack later."
Portia ate
I
that.
think Portia
Yeah,
in her
the
confessional because she, I was cackling at her talk. She was like, "You're not gonna." She's like, "You're antagonizing me." And Kelly was like, "No, I'm not." I'm not gonna her in her confession be like, "You." Portia was like, "I need to be a good hostess, but I'm gonna deal with short stack later."
I mean, Kelly was just being inquisitive. She was being
Yeah,
inquisitive,
right. I don't know about antagonizing.
right? But, she had that little scene with Samia, which I was like, "Okay, are you the replacement Portia? Are y'all both trying to?" Because I don't wanna say they're the 2 most uninteresting cast members, but they're the cast members who I think shine a lot in group scenes,
Yeah,
and but I was cackling at that scene when Shamia had a bottle of champagne for them both each. I was like, "I wanna drink with Shamia. I wanna drink with Shamia."
that's
That's
a.
like some good champagne too, nothing cheap like
I
what
was.
old girl on Rhode Island brought.
Mhm.
So,
Must say, it's expensive, and I don't know, like, my thing is, there's just something about Shamia where I really want her to be, like, a top-tier housewife, and it's just not happening yet, and I don't know if it's gonna happen, but I hope it does because I don't know, I really like Shamia.
right? I don't wanna subscribe to, like, Shamia doesn't have star power because that
Mhm.
seems mean, but
Yeah, I think
maybe
part of
Shamia
it
doesn't have star power.
I think part of it is I like the wealth porn that she brings
I
to
do like the wealth
Atlanta,
porn,
and I
and
so I
I'm
want her to work.
intrigued if no, you're right, and I'm intrigued if the wealth gets blown up, if somebody, does a deep
Oh,
dive and if there's more fraud. I love if we have to go get an auditor or somebody else to
yeah,
speak about if you gotta pull up court documents in the episode, I get very intrigued. So, we'll see what's
yeah,
going on there. But I do think the long build of the Shamia Portia relationship it's
Mhm.
compelling television from, like, a
Yeah.
long-term storytelling perspective.
Yeah. Well,
So she has that going for her because
yeah.
it's like, if you're invested in the show and have been watching for, 17 years, 17 seasons, like,
Yeah.
you're intrigued by it.
Right. Well, I think, yeah, and it's just like their friendship, it just runs so deep. It's pre-Housewives. Like it's like it's the kind of
Right.
stuff that like we like to see, I think.
Right?
Because not
And I
necessarily
w
like them falling out, but just like getting like more information on the dynamics and
yeah.
everything in the history.
It's more real and definitely, like, relatable. Everyone has
Mm,
fallen out with a friend or 2, so,
yeah.
not everyone can go on a yacht or go wherever these ladies go and just gallivant around and
Yeah.
get into fraud, but
Right.
we've all fallen out with somebody.
Yeah. Speaking of fraud, we had Phaedra here this episode, and she was starting off the
Lying already,
yeah,
lying
starting
already.
off the season lying.
Lying already. I knew she was lying right away talking about I contacted the arena, the student the arena, they gave me the tapes. I mean, Major, the State Farm Arena,
The
the home
tank.
of the Atlanta Hawks, they just gave you Phaedra Parks tapes all willy-nilly. Like, "You the biggest, most powerful lawyer in the state of Georgia."
And you heard the audio crystal clear,
That was such a mess. They were clowning her in the confessional already, like, "Oh, she must be powerful."
right? I know. I think Kelly called her a what's Kelly called? She called her a big mama jamba or something, mama jamba.
Right? Something like that, and the producer's asking like, "Oh, did you" Ooh. The producer the producer's asking like, "Oh, did you really see the tapes?" And she's talking about, I asked for that."
Yeah,
Like, that is not seeing the tapes, girl.
right. She's like, I asked for them to be reviewed. It's like,
And
well,
you act like you had audio and video, Phaedra, from the State Farm
right.
Arena.
It's like I can ask for the security cameras at my place of employment to be reviewed. That's not the same as me
Right?
watching the
I
footage.
could ask for the cameras from the Standard Hotel elevator when Solange beat up Jay-Z. Like,
I'm
I
gonna
don't know
get.
Imma get that, right?
Well, we got to review those. We have to review those. But yeah, I feel like Phaedra's just gonna be doing what Phaedra does this season, I feel like the thing with Phaedra is she is predictable, like, in a way that, like, she's predictable and unpredictable, I guess. Although, I guess, like, not even unpredictable anymore because after what she did to Candy, like, we know that there's not, like, a bottom to how low she'll go. So,
Yeah,
like, with Phaedra, it's kinda like you kinda know what to expect to a degree, like, she's gonna do
for
what she
sure.
does.
And I think Phaedra also gets the advantage of some long-term storytelling here with the
Mhm.
singer sons being so grown. Like, I
Right,
gasped, like, "No way Aiden going to prom.
right,
Aiden
and they
was
were
just
born
born."
on the damn show. They were born on
Right?
the show.
Or homecoming or whatever dance you going to taking a date.
Right, I
Talking
think
about Phaedra needs to date Drake. Talking
but yeah,
about
no,
he's
it's
rich. And Phaedra's like, "We're rich." I'm like, "Are you?"
yeah. I mean, rich enough, I guess. Like
She
they,
is richer than me, definitely richer than me. Let me shut up.
but I mean, you know what?
Before
She's
Phaedra
also
calls her friends down at the city and gets our podcast delisted.
right, but I think she's also a lot more likely to be indicted than you for something.
That's true. That's true.
Drew Sidora, who
My
is,
fave.
yeah, I was gonna say she's a number one charting artist in your household.
I do love me some Drew Sidora. And you know what? Her sister Allison follows us on Instagram. So
No, thanks,
I,
Allison.
I love Drew extra for that. So shout out to you, Allison.
Right, thanks,
I
Allison.
hope she didn't unfollow us. It's been like a year or two, but
Well, sometimes
I'm
people
hoping. I'm hoping.
sometimes people do a social media cleanup.
Ryan,
Wow.
God knows we were not good with the Instagram maintenance until a few weeks ago. So
Right, I know. Check out our Instagram; it's getting pretty lit over there. Um, but yeah, Drew, I mean, you and I actually we talked about this when we were talking about when we talked about Atlanta before, like I've talked about like Drew, she's not like at the top of my top, but like I do appreciate Drew and I feel like she has in recent years been one of the better like newbies on Atlanta to join the
agreed.
cast. Like I feel like she's really just like shown out well for herself, like as her kind of now she's kind of got a little bit of time in and everything. Like she's really like established herself well. She's handled herself well. She's given us moments. She's given us storyline.
Right.
Like yeah, I think she fits in perfectly.
Yeah. Yeah, I think unfortunately Drew comes off a little, I don't know, unrefined. There's just something a little bit chaotic there. I'm just
Yeah,
like, that one girl, she's so pretty, but it's like, her dress a little too big or something. That's
right.
just giving me Drew. It's just
Yeah,
like a little unfiltered, a
yeah.
little off
But
kilter,
I do
but
what I like
I
about.
stand.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, for sure. It's something like That's, like, the realness and the authenticity.
Yeah.
Obviously, I knew her from her time on the game, so it's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, a childhood name I've, recognized on Housewives. I'm
Right.
officially that
I
old."
I knew her from White Chicks. Uh,
But you do not recognize her. You do not recognize her.
yeah, no, I did not recognize her right away, but I think the thing with Drew, a part of what I appreciate about her is, especially now that she's been on the show for a few years, I feel like part of what I appreciate about her is that she hasn't drastically changed since she came on the show. Because I feel
Yeah,
like
sh same stunt queen.
yeah, especially for, like, girls like her that kinda do come off a little bit more authentic or rough around the edges or whatever. I feel like a lot of times that's them their first, maybe second season, and they really, like, clean it up and kind of get a little bit more fake and, like, a little bit more produced and rehearsed and whatnot, and I feel like she hasn't succumbed to that, and I really like that. That's part of what I enjoy about
Yeah.
watching her to this at this point even still.
Yeah, and I think that's the difference between her and maybe where Mia went a little bit too far with the antics and the
Right.
production and the style.
Mhm.
Because I would say Mia was similarly although, maybe not more refined, but maybe put more effort into
Right,
appearing it
right,
and, like, up-leveling herself. But
right.
I think the same level of, like, chaos and off-kilteredness, like, Mia
Yeah.
possesses, but Mia went a little too far with it.
Right. I think that's, like, where a lot of housewives really fall into that trap when they're new. I feel like what it is either if you're really well liked and really well received for, like, certain things, I feel like then, like, kinda someone like Mia, they, like, double down on, like, that shit, and they, like, take it, like,
Yeah.
up 100 levels to the point where it's just ridiculous, and that's the thing with Mia is, like, the kinda stuff that she got dragged for is also what she was getting praised for
Yeah.
initially, but she just took it too far.
Yeah.
Um, but then there are other housewives I feel like that they get dragged their first season, and it's like they take the audience reaction too much to heart, and they just try to change everything to the point where they're just so
Yeah.
inauthentic.
Which Wendy gets accusations of.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, Wendy kinda shapeshifts every season to a degree.
I'm not gonna sit here and deny that.
But,
And I'm g Drew overreacted though with the whole Shamia thing. I don't know where or how that escalated. But I'm
right.
like, "Drew, you're doing a lot, but at least somebody getting something started because the episode was a little boring." I
Yeah.
don't like,
It
it was a little boring.
it was very tame, especially for such I mean, season 17, such a well-established franchise,
Yeah,
and the fact that, like, this cast is not that much of a shakeup from last season. If it's, like, a huge shakeup where it's a lot of new girls and stuff, I can understand, like, easing it in a bit more, but because of how many returning girls we have and how many ongoing storylines and situations we have, I didn't expect it to start off quite this slow.
right? And I think it's because they're unclear what the alliances are maybe. Because
Mhm.
I wasn't sure, like, what the friend groups and alliances truly are
Right.
right now. Because everyone kinda knows everyone and is cool. It's
Mhm.
given, like, episode 1 of, like, a Survivor All-Stars and everyone's still, like, pretending to have their pregame alliances and
Right.
whatnot, where we're waiting for some snake shit to start for the games to begin, and I think the season will hopefully get more interesting once everyone kinda has their sides and is doing their things
Mhm.
because, Phaedra's gonna go be a snake and Cynthia's gonna be on both sides,
Right.
and Charles Oakley gonna say something, and it's just gonna it's gonna work out.
Well, I was gonna
But I just
say
had a random thought
yeah,
about your last thing about some housewives doing too much. We
yeah.
should call that Brandi Glanville syndrome. I think she was the originator.
Oh, yeah, no, she, like, took everything that people loved about her and made people hate it. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, speaking, though, of people kinda having things on the side and doing whatever they want and,
Ooh,
and
ooh,
Oakley, so let's talk
good
about
transition.
yeah, so let's talk about my girl Angela. I like Angela.
I love Angela. She was my
I don't
favorite
really
newbie
like her
last
husband,
season.
but I like her.
He
He
he's
plays
I
good.
can't help but cackle at shit he says.
The
He's
thing
like
is
a funnier Peter Thomas.
yeah, like, the thing is it's funny, but I'm like, "Sir, don't embarrass your wife on TV."
Right? He don't care. He gonna say whatever. Now Angela's kinda sitting there, like, taking it like, "Oh, no, I don't" we had the whole open intro like her, "I don't care. I don't care. I don't care." I'm just
Right.
like, "Girl, you do, but
Yeah,
you're funny." But then we can clearly tell that you care, Angela, and it's
right.
like, I wanna support you.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Angela like, that's the thing, is, like, I like her. I don't like her husband kind of embarrassing her on television, but I guess it's at the end of the day, though, is, like, if she's gonna just deal with it, then I guess I have to deal with it too, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, I can't
Right?
that's her problem, not mine.
I
Um
hope you're plotting your exit. That's what I say when I see these bad marriages on Housewives,
Mhm.
like, Hope the
Right.
show is making you get to your bag, you're setting up something on the
Right.
side, and,
Yeah.
you're setting yourself up for success. Because only housewives divorced who I didn't really want them to win was Ashley and Harvey, so
And you got your dream because she really didn't win. Um,
right? She ain't got much, she ain't got much.
she didn't
But
get
when
that.
Charles said, "I would have played with Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder," I was cackling so I had to pause the episode. I could not breathe. No, but no way this man said he would have led them to a championship. Those 2 blind men. He's a piece of work. He's a piece of work.
Oh my
But
god.
that's the kind of, like, quips that he says so quickly that you can't help but laugh at. But no, definitely, like, a jokester, takes life very unseriously,
Mhm.
and good looks, athleticism, and money on top of that. Poor Angela.
Yeah. Poor Angela. Angela and her iconic 90s nose. I
That
love
was
ever since they shaded her though last season, I like her nose.
she had yeah, and she also has, like, a good energy. I don't know, it's, like, the way she speaks. Some housewives I just, like from their first sentence, I kinda
Mhm.
like them. Which, like, I'd say about Ashley on, Rhode Island for some reason. I don't know why. But some
Yeah,
housewives just have that first impression approach. You're like, "I would
right.
fuck with you in real life,"
Yeah,
being a little parasocial here, but
I
sometimes it's
feel
just
like
like, I like your
Angela,
energy.
she kind of has that poise, and she kinda speaks with a level of, like, authority. I'm like, "Oh, I would listen to
Mhm.
her." Um,
Right?
right? If she was talking, I'd take it seriously. I'd sit
Oh, if
upright
she
and
was your TSA
pay
agent, you get in
attention.
line, you'd fall in line.
Exactly, yeah, the moment she asked for my ID, I would be like, well, here you go."
I don't know why, but I could picture her as a TSA agent. I don't know why, I could just see her in the outfit.
I could see her no, to the left, to the left, to the left over there. No, I could see her be I could see her be like I could see you giving her your ID and her being like, "This is expired."
Ooh. Now I have more sense than to bring an expired ID to the airport. You know me and my
Well, no,
checklist and
I'm
my
not saying you, but
spreadsheets.
some people.
Oh, I got a little defensive there. I'm not that
Now
bitch.
I know you're well traveled.
You have to say it like that, like like Katie. That you're not biracial,
That you're not biracial.
which I am not. In case you're asking.
Oh, maybe I
Well, I
am.
don't know if they were
I'm not.
curious, Noah. I don't know if they were curious. Are you?
They always ask if I'm biracial. I'm just kidding. Everywhere I go.
I mean, you look about as black as Bren from New York, so.
Ooh, wow.
Is she on the
Um,
show anymore? Formerly from New York.
I don't think I think they're because 'cause they're rebooting it again. I don't think
Oh, yeah,
she's
didn't
on
she
the
move to
reboot of the
London or
reboot.
something? There's been so many new
Yeah.
housewives in the last 2, 3 years. They need to
Yeah.
some of them
Well,
should have
one
been
thing
real
about New York
girlfriends
City is
of
they're gonna reboot it as many times as they have to.
right? Some of these women should have gotten the Real Girlfriends of Paris treatment, I'm sorry.
Yeah, right. Right.
But not
Or
these girls on Rhode Island because they
yeah,
deserve a housewives monikers.
these
Whatever
girls
what are they holding? Are they holding anything? I was
I
not
think
paying
it's
attention to the
clam, isn't
intro.
it? Don't they hold a clam?
Okay, a Quahog. It's giving Real Housewives of Quahog,
Yes, let's get Bonnie on here.
right? Bonnie gives me walks out of a reunion, I don't know why.
She would.
And
She'd be like,
Lois
"I'm
would
not
cackle like,
doing
"I told you the bitch was walking out."
this." But yes, The Real House of Rhode Island. So this is an interesting one because ever since it was announced, I feel like the moment it was announced, like, question marks, like, people were like, "What? The Real House of Rhode
Rhode
Island?"
Island? I
Um,
mean, would that not be your initial reaction?
that was
And the
my
fact that it wasn't even like for me being an East Coaster, having lived in Massachusetts, I was
Mhm.
familiar with Newport. So I was like, "Oh, I'm assuming they're gonna do Newport, old money, beautiful
Yeah.
houses." So I was like, "Oh, Cranston?" I guess I didn't know Rhode Island beyond that. So when I was like, "It's not Newport," I kinda checked out. But it makes sense because it seems like this neighborhood is the more like new money-ish kind of energy,
Mhm.
which is usually what we get on Housewives. Because
Right.
the old money, prestige and
Yeah.
skeletons in the closet, which is the real reason. Don't let the prestige lie fool you. But that's just me. Just a
Yeah.
bitch from Long Island just talking.
But yeah, I feel like leading up to this, especially with New Jersey being off the air now for a couple years, um, I feel like this show kind of had a lot of pressure on it because I feel like a lot of people ultimately do view it almost as a like a potential replacement for New Jersey. And it kind of has me worried for New Jersey because people like this show. Um, I'm kind of worried those Jersey girls might just get shelved permanently at this point.
Right? Because it has the same kinda energy, the accents, the vibe, the
Yeah.
familiar relationships.
Mhm.
So and they're
Well,
starting off strong with this drama and the scandals. They do not care. So
yeah, and it
New Jersey
feels
might have
like
found its replacement, especially because
yeah.
like, Jersey in the 2010s is kind of like what Utah is now.
Mhm.
It was of the time. You needed a Utah show, you needed a Jersey
Yeah.
show. And now that's kinda, yeah, not really a thing anymore.
Yeah, when I think that Jersey really, like, kind of ended on a whimper in its last couple seasons, and I feel like over the last, because I think it's been off the air for, like, 2 years now or something. And since
Damn.
it's yeah, and since it's been off the air, I feel like Bravo, like, they keep swearing it's coming back, they're testing, they're casting, they're looking, they're doing this, but, like, it's always, like, it feels to me like Bravo has intentionally been delaying Jersey, specifically to see how Rhode Island does, because
I
I
would
feel
believe that.
yeah, because I feel like had Rhode Island just bombed and flopped out right off the bat, I feel like that'd be like I feel like things would be moving forward fast on Jersey. But I feel like now that Rhode Island seems to be getting momentum already, it premiered strong, it's doing well, people are liking it, that could be bad news for Jersey.
Right? It could definitely be bad news. And I
Yeah.
feel like Jersey kinda set itself up over indexing on Teresa. So when you
Mhm.
put so much, pedestal on Teresa, it's a similar problem to what I feel Atlanta is facing that, like, who
Yeah.
was the next gen of this show? There
Yeah.
was never really an answer beyond Teresa.
Right. Absolutely, yeah, and I feel like people just got sick of especially with their insistence on keeping Melissa and Teresa on for as long as they did, like,
Right.
people just were over it.
Right, and if you feel the need, give them their own show. If Don't Be Tired, you can have 7 seasons. I'm sure there's enough of a fan base for Teresa and her sister-in-law
Right.
go do something, you know?
Right. Absolutely. But let's get
Make
into
sprinkle cookies. Sorry, Rhode Island.
let's get into the ladies of Rhode Island, our clam holders. Um,
But I don't like that.
but I really like this cast, honestly, I really do.
I do. I think they're all showing up well as a cast. I don't
Mhm.
really have, like, a favorite yet. I don't know who I'm gonna, like, stan, although I am gravitating towards Ashley, but I have
Yeah.
a feeling she's not gonna be a major player. She gives me, like, eating and reacting like candy bars.
And sometimes that's what you need, though.
That is what you know. It's a great mix of the cast. You need a Greek chorus. Like, you
Yeah.
need somebody to be like, "These bitches are insane," which is really what her confessionals are. But
Right.
I always loved a Greek chorus person on a reality show, but that's who I would aspire to
Right.
be if I was would ever subject myself to production. But
Yeah. I think just based off of the first 2 episodes, the ones that are kinda stepping forward as potential favorites for me are Liz, Joellen,
I know you don't like
and
Joelle.
yeah, and, Alicia.
Okay. I I would say Ashley's in first place, but
Mhm.
it's a bit of a tie for me between a lot of those. I like what a lot of them bring.
Mhm.
Rosie's my least favorite. And
Rosie,
I
yeah.
put Kelsey a tier above. Not that I dislike her. I think she's like an interesting story,
Yeah.
but it's just I don't know. She gives me like a white Portia. I get very much white Portia vibes.
The
Like I feel like if the show was on for 17 years, she will live like 8 lives.
Right, yeah, no, the thing with Kelsey is because like, when they were first kind of introducing her, I was like, "Oh lord, here's an Ashley Darby." Um, but then, like, I quickly realized when it was made clear that, like, she's fully aware of, like, exactly what her situation is, what her guy is doing, what's going on, and she's doing her own thing, and she has her own plans. I was like, "Oh, this girl's got a lot more going on up here than
Right?
Ashley Darby ever did."
You're right. I would say Rolla seems like an Ashley Darby with her delusional self.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. Rula
As beautiful as she is.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, when I saw because Rula wasn't in the first episode, she
Mhm.
came in the second episode, just like Ashley Darby did. Um, but when we saw when I like after we watched the episode for episode 1, and we saw the previews for episode 2, I was like, "Ooh, I think I'm gonna like Rula." And then she came in and she came in weak. She came in weak,
She
getting
did come
stomped
in
on by
weak.
that man
Stomped on by that man,
and his
trying to
mistress.
tell Liz that she's not a real mother,
Yeah,
trying to
ooh,
that which was crazy, and Liz don't go play by her stepbabies, like, I could tell that from, like,
right.
watching. She doesn't even call them her stepdaughters, I think she just refers to them as her daughters, truthfully.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
no,
yeah,
Liz's
she makes it
daughters,
clear
she
that,
doesn't
like,
play about
she's
them.
raised them since they were little, and yeah,
Yeah.
and just, like, it seemed like Rula didn't really know what to do, like, when any pressure came from Joellen, um,
Right?
which
She didn't even show up to the all ca I was very excited, like, "Okay, we gonna see Rula
right,
and Joella interact, they're gonna be the first all cast with the whole
right.
cast." So I'm hyped. Know that Rula don't show up.
Yeah.
Is she gonna quit mid filming? Are they gonna? It's given like phase out. I don't know.
Yeah. I could see it, I could see it. And Joellen is like our big bad of Rhode Island because it seems like everybody's got a story about Joellen doing something to them.
Right? And she really got the music when she walked to that last scene when they walked to the sprinter. She got the villain Nini music.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, if it wasn't clear already, Joellen is the villain. But
Right, but
it
the
kind of does rotate around like
yeah.
there's a core group that all kind of know each other.
Mhm.
Liz is kind of one of the anchors of the cast. She knows
Yeah.
like she
She's our
know
matriarch.
Kelsey's old boyfriend since like he was young and they were in school together. And she
Mhm.
was friends with Joe Ellen's older sister Jennifer. And that's
Mhm.
kind of like the core of how everyone knows each other. And it's kind of from there. You
Yeah.
have Ashley, who's a bit of like the outsider perspective.
Mhm.
Rosie wasn't like in their group, but she was on the local news. I think she was the weather girl.
Yeah.
So she's kind of known that way. I loved her little bit about like everyone's grandfather loves me. If I
I
don't get a compliment from a man 50 plus, and my day is bad. I'm just like, that's funny.
right. One thing, and I also loved when she invited the girls for her little picnic on the beach. Like before they got there, she was making content. I was like, okay, girl.
She was getting to the bad. She was getting to the bad.
Yeah, no, Rosie's Rosie's something else to me because like I feel like it seems like she's determined to make problems for herself and then like and be like, well, I'm gonna keep on trying to truck
Right.
along,
Like, who are you smiling on Flavor of Love, girl? Get up.
right?
Get up.
I know when she brought Joellen that fucking bouquet of fireworks and some champagne, I was like, girl,
And y'all is still calling it cheap. I'm just like,
one
girl.
thing I'm like, girl, this girl does not like you at all.
Yo, the fact that she's trying so hard that she was, I was kind of like sympathetic towards her. Then she started crying. I'm just like, which I get. It's hard. I'm sensitive. I'd be crying. You've
Yeah.
seen it when we watched that it off. And but I'm just like this random girl who don't like you, and you're on a reality show. It's like
Hmm.
I'm like, if the villain's coming at you first, and then that's good. You get end the
Right.
premiere screen time,
Right. Take
and you
advantage.
might be the main adversary. That's like a starring role. Maybe
Right.
Rosie wasn't up to it.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm, like, intrigued by her, but I'm just like, yeah, she's kind of annoying me so far. But
Right.
definitely, like, has her reality TV, like, quips. Like, I wouldn't say
Hmm.
she's not qualified for the show, like, I
Yeah.
would say they all kinda get it. It's just kind of weird and crazy, like, how
Yeah.
quick things are moving, how they're like
But
that one scene in episode 2 that started off with Willa's introduction with Liz
hmm.
and, Kelsey, and they're all just throwing out accusations. They're like, "Oh, Rilla, we
Right.
heard." And Rilla's kind of talking around it, and Liz is like, "No, I said I saw the picture that Joe Ellen sent me of that girl sitting on her lap."
One like and like Liz showing up for lunch on the damn boat sent me on the damn jet ski. I was like, what the
I
hell?
liked her. I liked her, and I do like that. A lot of them have like, there's a lot of like a business entrepreneurial tie here too. A
Hmm.
lot of them have businesses. I saw
Yeah.
someone. I can't. I'm sorry. Bad journalism, bad podcaster integrity. But I did not keep track of who owned what business. I'm sure we'll figure it out eventually. I know Ashley's husband has a coffee shop that don't make no money because she keeps talking about it.
I know. She keeps coming out, I'm like, I know the way Ashley talked to her husband in these first episodes, like, girl, are you trying to get him to leave you?
That scene was sending me because he's like, order for Noah, order for Noah. And she's like, and then that bitch, Joe Ellen, was like, and then I don't know if they were going to have an all cast moment. I don't know what she's doing. And he's still like, yeah, babe, yeah, babe. Do we have any simple syrup? And I was like, this is so chaotic. I don't know if it was scripted or not. I'm just like, that man is busy, my love.
Right. Um, well, yeah, no, I don't know. Rosie, she kind of
Oh,
gives me,
God.
I'm sorry, I wanted to go drive back to this, but Rosie, she kind of, now I
Okay,
think about it, she kind of
Candace.
reminds me of Bryn a little bit from the Roni reboot.
I see that. The big hair, the brunette.
Yeah. Like I
Lots of
kind of,
brunettes. Ooh. The fact that we have like Dolores' clone, we have Dolores plus Carol Radziwill, and then 5 brunettes. I'm just
yeah.
like, wow.
No, I
Are the
was
blondes gonna act oppressed over this? Are they gonna point it out? No blondes?
noble. Well,
Yeah,
um,
Rosie, I see the Bryn comparison. I definitely see
yeah,
that. Why
but
is her hair so big?
I really enjoyed our wackier castmates, Alicia and Liz. Alicia just like
They are wacky.
she's so funny. Her family is really funny. Um, her fucking when her family showed up and they were like they had to drive like 15 minutes to her house and they were like, we have to pack a lunch for this, and then they get there and
Right? I'm like, damn, is she the Wendy of the cast?
they're like, why you live so far away? And it's like literally 15 minutes away or whatever.
I was
And they're like talking to her husband. They're like, Billy, when are you gonna do this? Billy, when are you gonna do that? Throw her up against a wall. Billy, I'm hungry. like Alicia just has that colorful family that
Right?
makes me really think of like Jersey and like their kind of family
For
dynamics over
sure.
there, and how kind of like the recurring family characters are like almost as recognizable as like the main housewives.
Right? No, I hope that we get, some memorable side characters, like Rosie of New Jersey,
Yeah.
the only
And
Rosie we care about. Well, I don't know if we
I
care about her
really
anymore, but
Yeah, I think Liz was the biggest standout for me though in this two-part premiere because like she clearly has like a kind of like a domineering role. She's the
yeah,
matriarch. She's very like strange. Like her behavior and her mannerisms are a
yeah.
little weird and kooky. And she's really
She's
funny.
compelling.
But I also like there's just something about her, and I told you this before we started recording. I feel like stuff is gonna come out about her because she seems nuts. Like she seems crazy. Like I think
Maybe she's just high on life. No, maybe she has some verve.
Ooh, well, maybe. Well, I mean, her and her husband, they do have it's like a cannabis thing, right?
Yeah. She was
Yeah.
the one with the weed line.
But yeah, no, I just feel like stuff is gonna come out about her that's gonna be crazy. I'm feeling it in my bones.
I mean, that's par for the course of the Housewives cast
Yeah.
nowadays, so
And the words
if
of
it's her, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. And
But
the
I
words
do
of
what you mean. I
Caroline
am not
Manzo,
s
you heard it here
Ooh.
first.
You did hear for you're making a bold prediction early. I don't know if Imma throw fraud claims on anyone quite yet, but I don't know about Rilla. But I mean, they have she's connected to the jewelry industry. They have crazy margins, so it's probably good money.
Yeah.
But what was I gonna say? You don't know. You're not in my mind.
Right. Well, then, and I think obviously, like we mentioned, Joanne kind of being the villain. She comes on strong. And on top of that, though, while she comes on strong and kind of aggressive, she also like was immediately very vulnerable, kind of bringing up like her dynamic with her mother, that she had a very complicated childhood with her mother. And like it's a weird thing going on there. And I was kind of
Yeah.
surprised to see her be so vulnerable about that, like right off the bat, especially because of like how strong and kind of antagonistic and like aggressive she comes off with the other women. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, you are already a very dynamic character here.
See, I saw a bit of the opposite. Not that she's not strong, but from, like, that first picnic scene where she's, like, being mean to Rosie, it felt so, like, put on to me, kind of like middle school mean
Mhm.
girlish.
Oh, for
I'm
sure.
just like, "What?" It
And
felt
she's
so fake. I'm like, "Are you even a real mean girl?" And then once you got to the mommy shit, I was like, "Okay." But
Yeah.
I do you brought up a good point. She was a little bit more earnest about it. I was gonna make a Giselle Bryant comparison with her and how she's navigating this cast, but she's
Mhm.
already more openly emotionally than Giselle has
Right.
been in, like, 6, 7 seasons in 2 episodes. Can't
Right.
quite say that, but I see the parallels into how the cast moves around them. It's definitely people want Joe Ellen's approval, they wanna be in her midst. But
Yeah.
does she get crazy? Does she start turning up at the mouth? I wanna know, is it more like Jen Shah? Is it reputational? Do people just, like,
Right.
fall in line? Like, I see everyone else saying it, but I'm not seeing, like, the why. With
Right.
Giselle, at least she was, like, a bit older than the average castmate and, like, has her
Mhm.
old sorority ties, but
Right.
I'm not quite seeing why they're all scared of Joe Ellen when it's positioned as, Liz's
Yeah.
show.
It seems
And
like
she's the center
everyone's
one, and yeah.
right. It seems like everyone's got a story about Joellen though, because
Right?
she is the big bad of Rhode Island.
Well, and
Um,
Rosie's still trying.
Right. And we also have Dolores here as a friend of, which at least in these first two episodes, like she kind of appeared pretty minimally. It almost felt like she was just there for us to acknowledge, like, yes, her and Liz look almost identical.
Yeah, but Dolores will turn down a check, so
Yeah. Yeah.
and
And I,
that's good for her because she won Traders by just agreeing to appear on the show. That was the best strategic move she made all season.
right. One, just like, if this kind of does end up replacing Jersey permanently, like if Jersey does get shelved, I'm happy that Dolores has somewhere to go.
Right? Her little summer rental.
Right. I don't buy their whole narrative that like Dolores just summers all the time in Rhode Island.
I know, girl, they bought that for the show.
Well,
But it's
then
fitting, and I like if the show continues to film on this pattern of, like, filming in the summer, I think
Mhm.
it'll highlight Rhode Island's kinda best. Like, God, if
Right.
those girls film the winter, it's gonna look real dreary in Rhode Island. There's not much going on.
Right.
It's a small state. So
Right.
they need, like, the outdoorsiness, the boats, the
Yeah. Well, and
scenery.
all the events too, because it seems like there's all these like really
Yeah,
great parties in the area in the summer and
right.
everything.
That's all they
Like
got.
that's like the busy social season and everything. So yeah, no, I think they picked a good time of year to film. I hope they stick to that schedule. Um But, like, overall, I guess 2 episodes in oh, and I was gonna say earlier because like, we talked about how these girls, like, got right into it. It kinda reminded me of how Salt Lake City started off, like, right off the bat in their 1st season, where it almost felt like soap opera-ish, and it almost felt like because like, I always say that, like, Salt Lake City, when it premiered, it almost felt like a parody of The Real Housewives.
I can see
Like
that. Everyone said that.
yeah, everyone's just on, they're in their roles, they know what they're doing, like and just like in this, like the storylines of Kelsey and her sugar baby situation, and these girls kept saying polygamy, and I'm like, "I don't think y'all know what that word means. Not polygamy."
They didn't know what a lot of words were. Who
Right.
was it? Alicia kept mixing up. Here I go, mixing up words. Kept mixing up words.
Yeah. We have that. We have Joellen and her beef with, Rula, whose husband was cheating on her with the mistress that's posting pictures online, and we have just like, it feels like so many things feel so soap opera-y already.
I know, and the fact that they all get it, they all
Yeah.
kinda get to the point very quickly and
Yeah.
early. I love it, and there's no, like, beating around the bush. And I
Yeah.
think it's good to have some people with television experience or broadcast experience like Rosie and
Yeah.
Ashley, but everyone kinda either seems camera ready or integrated into the group.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Rosie's not really integrated into the group, but she knows
She's
how to talk
trying.
on a camera.
She's gonna try
And
her best.
Rilla had about 8 minutes of screen time, if
Yeah.
that. 8 minutes is generous, so
Yeah.
we'll see with her, but she's definitely salacious. In her little screen minutes of screen time, she dragged the mistress several
Yeah.
times. She called her what'd she say? She thought she wasn't a lady,
Right. Oh, yeah, she says she's not a lady.
that she's not
Um,
a lady, she's a petty slut, she's a cockroach, she's a hoe, not a lady. It was a
but
lot, it was a
the
lot.
thing is, though, it's so frustrating 'cause I'm like, "You seem a lot more upset with this mistress than you do with your husband."
Yeah,
But,
well,
it is what
sometimes
it
I be like
is.
that. Maybe she wants to stay to the bag.
Yeah.
Maybe she wants to keep the bag.
This show to me really does feel, though, like, in terms of vibes and everything, and it kind of feels like a mixture of Jersey with Salt Lake City with a little bit of New York City in there.
I can see that. What's interesting to me is that it's actually produced by Evolution Media, who does Beverly Hills and Orange County, where I thought
Oh.
would be like the Salt Lake City production company, because it definitely has that
Mhm.
energy, but maybe the girls are just bringing it more on the East Coast.
Yeah. Yeah. I think so, and I think that's that I think in the same way with Salt Lake City, like, the girls just I feel like they understand the opportunity, they see the job, and that's just, I think, kind of part of the that's kind of par for the course with Housewives being, like, as ongoing as it is I feel like nowadays, new casts and stuff like that, they just know what to do,
Right?
there's a blueprint, there as Natalie Nunn would say, there's a formula. Um,
Natalie knows her formula.
I
But,
think that
they definitely got it right with, like, mixed ties within the
Mhm.
group, messy husbands, beautiful homes, and, a random local culture we know nothing about from the outside, so
Right.
all of the formula, as Natalie Nunn would say, "Still good housewife season." And, we're seeing some mess, we're seeing some personalities. A lot of these husbands, I think, can be pieces of work. We're seeing a
Mhm.
lot of personality already. Although I do like Joe Ellen's husband, how he orders, like, oysters for the table and a blue olive martini? I don't know, a blue cheese olive martini? I don't that's how I would order, so I gave
Yeah.
him 2 points for that.
Yeah, I'm usually team, like, keep husband involvement to a minimum.
Yeah, I'm
Like
not asking for more of them, but
right, unless they're gonna give us, like, Michael Darby level theatrics, then, like, they can just kinda stay in the background.
well, I hope nobody's grabbing asses on this show.
Hopefully not, but you never know, you never know.
I
Uh,
mean, none of the husbands were giving, pinging off my gaydar for once on this show, so that's
right.
nice.
Fi finally, a show where all these women are actually married to straight men.
I'm just saying it's like the exact opposite of Secret Wives of Mormon Wives.
Ooh.
Speaking
Why
of, I will say that Ashley's husband, Jared, is one of the finer white husbands in the Housewives franchise history to
Mhm.
me to me.
Yeah, he's an attractive man, he's a very attractive
So shout
man.
out to you, Ashley. Even though I think they're both from the Bachelor world, so
Right.
that makes sense. They
Okay,
like a
Bachelor
little romance fairy book, casting aesthetic.
I'm saying Bachelor Nation, y'all been catching a lot of L's lately, here's a win.
Right? I
But
wonder how much The Bachelor checks compared to her Bravo checks. I hope she talks about that.
Ooh, I mean, this is the 1st season, though, and usually 1st
right?
season
And
checks aren't
is she a friend or a main housewife? I can't tell with Ashley.
actually, I think all of them are main housewives except for
Okay,
Dolores. I think Dolores is the
gotcha.
only friend.
That makes sense. We were getting solo scenes with Ashley and her husband, so she's the real
Yeah,
friend. But I don't
which
know
I
why she had friend energy in how she interacts with
I
the
was kinda
group,
surprised at how big the cast was.
right? Because then I'm like, oh, there's more Rolla too.
Yeah, right? Like, there's a lot of girls here.
I'm just like, ooh, I can't tell Rosie from. I mean, good thing Rosie and Joe Ellen are fighting, so I can tell them apart because they argue with each other. And Kelsey has a bit of a baby face. I think Kelsey has one of the more distinct faces because she kind of has
Yeah,
like a babyish face. Which
yeah,
Kelsey also has a pageant background, Miss Rhode Island USA 2017.
and we
Which
know
another participant of the pageant princess to reality television pipeline,
yeah,
joining Housewives, which is Kenya Moore, Candace Elder Bassett, and people across the reality TV realm because we know Big Brother and Survivor in the
oh,
2010s.
they love a
Love
pageant
the
girl.
Miss Something USA, baby.
Mhm, mhm.
If you were
Um,
Miss Something USA, you get
you
yourself on an
were, she
island,
went
girl. You
for a
on
show.
Survivor.
I mean, and, the thing is, like, as we've seen with some of these pageant girls can bring it, so,
Oop. And
hope
honestly, I thought Kelsey was that girl Katie from Survivor Philippines, who was also a pageant girl. I was
oh,
like, oh
yeah.
my god, it's all girl from Survivor. I was like, no, it's not. No, it's not.
Oh, well,
I think
you
she's
you got
also
your hopes
from
up.
Rhode Island.
You got your hopes up, it's okay.
Well,
Um, but yeah, overall, I was really happy with the premiere with the 2 episodes. I definitely plan on continuing to tune in. I'm excited to see, like, where this journey with Rhode Island goes. Hopefully, I hope the remainder of the season lives up to kind of like this initial like, kind of we started off really strong, so I hope the season continues strong.
right now, I was definitely enjoying the season. Strong start. Also,
Mhm.
Katie was Miss Delaware USA, not Rhode Island, so
Miss
she's not
Della.
eligible for the show. But no, strong debut. Reminded me a lot of Utah. A strong, cohesive cast dynamic, but I will
Mhm.
say struggling on, like, the star power, which may be a better thing for the cast in the long term, like,
Yeah.
there wasn't one standout to me versus more like, "Oh, it's a strong cast together," which I
Mhm.
think could maybe be their strong suit if they can, unify as a cast. Because
Yeah.
Salt Lake kinda has that vibe, even though I have a preference for Lisa Barlow, I do think they all kinda bring it together,
Yeah.
differently, which is part of why that reason franchise has, been so successful, so hoping the same for them, but the rumors that have been thrown to the table already, because they ended episode 2 kind of with, like, one of those messy ass production games where you spilt tea on everyone, but you kinda get a little bit on everyone now, like, okay,
Mhm.
people think Joe Ellen and her husband are swingers. People think Liz is stepping out on her man. That came up twice today. Rula is getting cheated on. Kelsey's is not really a secret. Kelsey's is all up in the open that she is
Yeah.
a part-time girlfriend. So, there's a lot of interesting bits there that I'm excited to uncover. And I don't know if they got any tea on Ashley's life or just that her husband, she's the breadwinner. She's sick of it.
Right, and she definitely wants to, like, castrate that man on television.
I don't know if it's that far, but she not even let him do his job. But maybe if you weren't, yelling at him while he's trying to manage, the coffee house could make more. I don't
I don't
know.
know, I just felt like
Even when there were cameras and asking him questions, he trying to manage.
the way she just kept bringing up, like, how not financially lucrative the business is just made me feel like I'm like, "Girl, this is not
She's like,
great for your
sell it,
marriage.
sell
This
it.
is not great for your marriage."
Well, hopefully the improved press from the TV will either save the business or get it a buyer. So, well, I don't
Yeah.
know. I mean, depending on where it is in Rhode Island, it could probably be like a good summer business. I
Mhm.
imagine like a lot of their tourism and visitation spikes are very seasonal. I don't know about Cranston specifically, but I don't know. I was a business major if you couldn't tell.
Yeah. And I was a communications major, so I'm gonna communicate that you need to follow us all over social media. Um,
Period.
but yes.
Well, tell them our handle, bitch.
Yes, we are at On a Real Note Pod across, the web. We are on TikTok, we're on Instagram, we're on Threads, we're on Blue Sky, we're on X, we're on YouTube. You might be watching this on YouTube.
We hope.
That's yeah, we're just all over the place, and we're kind of trying to expand out. Our the clock app has been good to us, but we're trying to expand out a little bit. We're posting a little bit more on Threads. We're posting a little bit more on Instagram. Obviously, we've upgraded to video episodes on YouTube, so check us out. We're working for it. Give
Right.
us a good rating.
Right. If you have any products you want us to peddle for affiliate rates or straight up money, nothing with powders. I'm a little traumatized by those, but we'll push things.
little traumatized. And you know, like Miss like Miss Pinky, I'm a vegan that occasionally dates meat eaters. So
Ooh.
I'll plug a plant based product. Please don't send me any like real meat.
Ooh. Right, send me the ribeye steaks if you're sending out ribeye steaks.
Not the
I'll
ribeye
take both of them
steaks.
for us. I'll take both
I'm gonna come back on
ribeyes.
this podcast, the Honor Roll Up podcast, with just holding up the ribeye steaks.
Meat delivery to you. I mean, they have all the websites where they be shipping meat in a box to somebody,
See,
so
that scares me. I'm
but
a
I
little
don't got the freezer space for 28 ribeyes. Them orders be too big. I'm a family of one.
well, when they're shipping something as sensitive as raw meat, I get a little nervous about that, but
Well, girl, if they can keep Ozempic shelf stable,
oh,
I
that's a good point. That's a
mhm,
good point.
I think so a ribeye or 2 is nothing.
Well, if the Ozempic goes bad, you're gonna have the Hollywood elite pissed off, so I don't know.
Ooh, well, and this would be a good place to plug my Mochi Health discount code, but I'm not gonna do that 'cause I need to pull it up. I have to wait to pull it up,
Yeah, clear please someone sponsor us, please.
right? But if you're interested in some Zempi, Imma throw my Mochi Health affiliate code in the description, actually.
Okay, there we go.
Noah doesn't benefit, but I do, so